Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman. Unfortunately, KamenRider ZO episode 17 isn't subbed yet in English and not Indonesian, in English and not Chinese. But do not worry, because I still come with fresh entertainment, which is why today I will be reviewing KamenRider Build the movie Be the One. I've been getting news all week on social media that it's being subbed that's been subbed this week, and so when I woke up this morning, when I couldn't find Zio subbed, I just went straight to this movie and watched it twice today. So with that said, let's get into it and talk about this movie for however long, because I wrote notes. So, of course, as always, well, at least I'll start off with this. First thing about this movie is that I assume that it's canon because it takes place in between the final arc of the show. And so, the movie officially starts with a flashback of the day the skywall came up, and we see Sento's dad spoil the entire plot of the show. First of all, keep that in mind. It'll be a thing for later. And so, one more thing that I also don't get about this one scene, or at least there's one thing that confused me at first. He says that a red light is going to turn people evil, and I immediately assumed the red light from the sky wall. So, from both times I watched this movie, I was a bit confused on it. And I just thought, wait, the red light up there? Oh no, that's just gonna kill people. People go up, they're just gonna die somehow. But here's another thing about this scene that I also don't understand. It's a flashback that Katsuragi has from his dad. But then in the next scene, we see Sento on his motorcycle. So it really didn't pan out. It didn't really pan out well to a good transition properly. Well, Sento's out on patrol while everyone's out doing their own thing. Like Banjo and Katsumi are visiting their loved ones' graves, and Gentoku. Right, and right now, 3 new elected governors for Seito, Tokto, and Hokuto take their places to unite the country, only to turn it into a rally that could have been thrown by Hitler against KamenRider Build. I am not kidding when I say that. All that talk about Build isn't a nuisance and he is a pain to innocent people's lives, he talks about that. Mind you, keep in mind about all the countless times and countless lives Build has saved up to this point. And yet, everyone seems to agree with the Seito governor named Inui. And next thing you know, everyone gets mind controlled, So, first of all, this guy believes that he believes that Build and their fighting and whatnot, or no, just the Kamen Riders in general, bring bad news to people, and for some reason the public believes, and mind you, it just worsens because they then get mind controlled, and it begins an uproar of a chase against Build. Literally, like the first 15 minutes of this movie is a chasing scene, and it's Sento being chased by like literally millions of people, riding his bike, running away, and mind you, he can fly. He has like a bajillion forms that can fly, and not once was that ever thought of. And so, but what a shock, but not really. The 3 new governors are the villains of the movie, and are a group that are the same race as Evol called the Blood Race, where it turns out they've been active for like the entirety as they were the ones manipulating the original governors, which then, when at least when I think about it, it's horse crap because that was Evol doing the persuading, and considering the fact that Evol can do the mind control trick too, it's not really all that convincing to me. Considering that this movie not the not the show with these guys and not with the show with these guys showing up now, making their presence. It's like they're like Evol and want to destroy Earth, but Evol still has his own plans and is a bit greedier than them for power, involving the Pandora box. So chase scene still happening, and it continues on at a soccer stadium for some odd reason. Instead of running home, where you could have flown away, because once again you can fly. And instead, and also he's in his rabbit tank form, and instead hyper jumps onto the stage to get farther away from them. Mind you, he can technically be in the air to get away, henceforth flying. Mentioned that 3 times now. And he meets up with Kazumi and Gentoku, who show up to help Sento escape, but then the Hokuto governor arrives instead to capture the duo using the crowd that was after Sento. Back in the city, where he is still transformed, and he is finally able to hide. And when Sento got back, 2 jerk animal photographers trashed the iCarly room, and in return, he steals their cat. And yes, I am talking about the plot of an episode of iCarly. Shut up. So, 15 minutes into this movie, it's been a non-stop chase scene against one person who, for the 3rd time... No, I take that back. For the 4th time, can fly. And it stops once Sento makes it back to the cafe. And, oh no, more bad news. Sawa and Misor are hit with the mind control too. And Sento finally is able to get away from the chase scene and stop them by getting inside of the one that chamber that Misora gets in, to where she can purify bottles and activate a knockout gas to put the girls to sleep while they're being brainwashed. Oh, and Sawa can do that. I'd ask why she couldn't be a KamenRider, but KamenRider and sexism have a relationship. Oh, and by the way, the same soon happens to Ryuga, like getting brainwashed. Sorry for the spoiler. And Kazumi and Gentoku are imprisoned thanks to the Hokuto governor. And that's where they'll be for most of this movie, being comic relief. And yeah. So Sento disguises himself as a guardian to get into the old physics building where he used to work, and found the blood race online in a database where they were in charge of the Kiwami project. So they must be the ones behind. Nah, I'm just kidding. these guys were part of the crew for the Mars trip, like way back. So the big bad of the movie, Inoi, finds Sento and says that they've been watching them and know everything about them throughout Evil's time before, during, and after he was revealed to be Bloodstock. And this is all supposed to be a one big realized coincidence that these guys were behind everything up until this point. But that doesn't matter because you can still assume it was Evolve still doing everything because he was there up until this point, and these guys are just now showing up very late in the game. So you're contradicting yourself by saying this is what really happened without any further proof to back up your statement because Evolve can do the same as you guys. And yeah, you're showing montages of you guys taking part, but why can you have shown up earlier?
There's a simple explanation for that.
And so Ryoga shows up and he is brainwashed and he basically goes after Sento, just really throwing him around for a few seconds. Motherfucker, you just now remembered that you can fly. Anywho, with Sento backed into a corner, metaphorically speaking, he's forced to hear Inoi's words that Kamen Riders bring pain and a nuisance to innocent lives. And Ryuga, Rider kicks him, though it didn't kill him because Deus Ex Machina. In reality, this guy was after the Hazard Trigger to activate his own form, the Kamen Rider Blood. Now, let's talk about his suit. His suit is actually quite sinister. Yep. And I want to pay more attention to the chest because I think that's a dragon in the middle or something. But I will say it's very sinister. It's minimalistic on a bunch of colors like gold and red, a little bit of navy. Because when I look at this form, all I could think about is the black. But and on the other hand, the belt must be very bulky on him because he needs a build driver, a Great Cross Z Dragon, and the Hazard Trigger. He literally takes the most time to transform. Like, honest to God, think about this. Forze flips a few switches. O's, 3 metals, he just puts them in. This guy, he's putting his belt on, shaking a bottle, putting it into a dragon, setting it up, put that in, Hazard Trigger on. He has the most accessories. While everyone else is transforming, he's just taking his time like, wait up. Do you not know how long all this takes for me to do? Okay, now start shaking. Everyone's already transformed and he's still getting the suit coming out and whatnot. Are you ready? Noise on. Boop. That's the suit. Oh yeah, everyone's already out in the battle and I still need to get a sword out. But yeah, about the suit though, I like some of the gold edges on here, and at least in the picture I'm looking at, I see his arm in the way. But okay, clearer picture. Huh? His suit's not bad. It looks like a combination between build and evolve, and it's pretty impressive in my opinion. But so, now, with the Hazard Trigger, the ceremony to destroy the world can go on, and before he can kill Sento, Evolve saves him and they escape. And a few moments later, Inui He demands for the Pandora box. In Sento's subconscious with Katsuragi, he reflects back on his actions where Katsuragi built that he's saying that he's blaming himself for building the rider system and basically being responsible for all of this and how many people have died at this point. But if he hadn't built the rider system and Evolve just went about his business anyway, a bunch of people would be dead right now. So yeah, as he takes time to realize that this is my fault. Nope, if I hadn't done this, this would have happened. He then starts to go on about his friends and specifically Ryuga and how he needs him for this crisis right now. And so, the next day arrives and Sento shows up with the Pandora box. And of course, the bad guys don't keep their end of the deal and challenge Sento to a fight. Well, at least Blood does. And Ryuga is absorbed inside of him when Blood's transformed. Why, I do not know. But, fight scene. Sento goes to genius form and physically fights, and in visual effects, it looks like he's using the power of some other full bottles in genius form. Mind you, the point in genius form is that's the power to use all of the bottles, and we don't even see that in the show, but we do in the movie. So first of all, what the hell? And once again, Deus Ex Machina runs the movie as a rabbit bottle colors itself gold. Queen Vernage saves Sento's butt, and Sento slashes Ryuga free of Blood's clutches. Ryuga's free, but Blood's plan is still going underway, with the cavalry on both sides stepping in their own fights. And Queen Virage shows up again with Sawa, protecting everyone and fusing the Rabbit bottle, the Dragon bottle, and the Genius bottle together into creating the Cross Z build bottle. And you know what that means. Right. KamenRider Cross Z build, which is when build and Cross Z fuse together. So let's talk about their suit. This suit is not bad. I actually, the more I look at it, the more I actually kind of dig this suit because, for starters, both base form colors aren't a part of them. Like for build, like rabbit, like for build red and blue, and Cross Z blue and orange. Instead, on here they just cooperated Cross Z's look as well as the rabbit form. So we get red, a little light gold, blue, a lighter blue, and that's pretty much it. I like the shoulders on this suit, and I'll be real right now. I'm not a big fan of asymmetric shoulders, but this is an exception, and I flat out love the cloak at the bottom that they have. It just looks freaking badass. And so, Cross Z Build have their first outing be out of sync until they do get in sync. And for the moment right now, everyone has pretty good fight scenes. And I should at least say this about Grease and Rogue. They don't do much, and how they escaped is that Mad Rogue was in this movie. He told them to beg so that he'll let them out. That's about it. That really didn't matter. But yeah, they had their fight scenes the against the Sato and Hokuto governors and won. And all going out, Sento and Ryuga both kill Kamen Rider Blood and prepare for the name of this finisher, Love and Peace Finish. That's the name of the attack, Love and Peace Finish. And with that said, let me take a break to name a couple of moves from Kamen Rider Ghost's Mugen Damashi that fit into the category just like the Love and Peace Finish. Joy Stream, Fun Strike, Faith Impact, Valiant Shoot, Anger Slash, and who would ever forget a finisher name like Sadness Bomber? So, Kamen Rider Blood dies, and the story of this movie ends with the little boy thanking Sento for saving everyone. And I'm going to take a quick drink of water for a moment before I conclude my thoughts. So overall, this movie doesn't suck, but it is unimaginative. Alright, what I do enjoy about this movie is the comedy and the fight scenes, but what I don't like is the story. We've seen this before, like the government being corrupt when it was actually Evol impersonating and corrupting the prime ministers. This movie is trying to show that it's canon, but its problem is that it's contradicting itself. And when you edit your own plot in the middle of the movie, that's a problem. The villains are supposed to be this huge threat, but I don't see it because we've never heard them before, nor will we hear about them afterwards. Like, Evol even never mentions these guys before, and they just show up out of nowhere, like a final boss arriving 4 episodes left. So yeah. Oh, but if you enjoyed this movie, good on you. But I can't see myself just getting all that into it. It's not like I can get into it. I just started thinking through it, and that was the thing there. But before I close out this entire movie, one last thing. Kamen Rider Zio's cameo. And let me say this right now. It was the most nonsensical thing in like the entire movie because it comes out of nowhere, no explanation. Like the Pandora box just opens up a portal to where you just see a bunch of Kamen Riders fighting their final bosses. Then Zio comes out of nowhere and just beats them all using the build armor. He explains the plot of the next show, end of movie. Like, there was a lot of hype behind this, and it was just in your face. That's it. I don't need an explanation. And it was just, it's so nonsensical, and it didn't fit with anything. At least this movie tried to make sense. The Zio cameo just was like, here's this, what happens? Shut up. Here's the plot of the next show. The end. And what the frick? Oh my god. And that is Kamen Rider Build. Be the one. Thank you for watching up to this point. And that's the end of the video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video if you like to. Tell your friends to check out KamenRider Blackman. And I don't know, tell me what you guys think of the movie and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.